配信開始しまして、一応ツイッターで宣伝までやる。というわけで頑張りましょう。ライブが見れねえっすよ。じゃあやろう。はい。一番ニューからやろう。はい。なんじゃい。なんじゃい。これマウス、ゲームパッドじゃなくて、ティンク。まあいいか。あ、これどれを押しても勝手に進むやつか。なんかそういうわけではなさそうだな。馬だ、馬。馬でいいのか。なんじゃまいね。うん。うん。お前その動き方でええんか。オース、プレス、アライカード。ああ、なるほど。スピードアップしてんね。でこれ何？もうプレイで走りゃいいのか。おうおう。この世界の動物はこういうあれだ。走り方か。お、穴もくもくもくっきゃいいのか。あれか？お。AB ってあるけどなんか違いあんの？なんかあの辺動いたけど。お、なんかあった。あそこになんかようわからんのあって、吹き出しあるからあれ見とこう。吹き出しあるから見たいんだけど。届かないみたいですね。この高台行って届くか？ジャンプとかねえもんな。ジャンプとかねえもんな。登れるわけでもなさそうだし。お、なんだこれ。 You found me finally we've been waiting for you for such a long time. 長く探した。違うか。Look out for this. We here show you what to do. Navigate everything. Good luck. なんかよくわからん。あっちか。とりあえずアビリティ探してこよう。へい、馬。スモー歌うよ。うん。まあ、動き方にさえ目つぶれば、そこそこ。最初は泣いた時に出るアイコンなんか意味あんのかな。ここになんもなさそうだな。あ、Your father great adventure. I wish I could join you. Maybe one day I'll be around. 何言ってるかわかんないっす。ちょっとわかんないっす。別に暇あれば喋るわけでもないし。Hey, how far back do you think? なんだパラミのホース号ちょっとアメリカ語よくわかんないっす。ニュアンス的なものはなんとなくわかるけど、人気で。Around here are reflection of you from back then. Each with their one dream and なんだっけ Your life to life. とにかく大間さんと一緒になんかできますよってことか。 というわけでここで X を押した。なるほど。おー、軍隊になっちゃったな。まあ、こういう雰囲気は大好きだけど。なんかこれ。They are over time you need to find there are no right or one of us to take care. As you explore, you need to feel the part of you need to go there one this なんだ、ディレクションか。Because you can't control everything at once.At last, not yet. Try let go of our paintings. ああ、なるほど。軍隊ばっかり邪魔だろうから。話の中で全く分かってなかったけど、早い話が仲間にしたやつを外せますよとか。じゃあな。なんだ、ライカースハローアイデックス。なんか実際にされたの。変態組んでいきましょう。Go around you will find what you are after. Don't get this, なんだ、this phone for you. いまいち英語よくわかんないです。Well, they don't know what they want any question for you are not here about that. Never mind. 何 れスタートしてんか。ああ、上の、中央上のアイコンは、なんだ、左スティックに対応してるの。移動方向みたいなやつ。これくらい。なんかこの辺にマークあったやつしてる。馬が好きかいこう。なんか違ったな。左スティック押し込んでなんか意味あんのか。ああ、ズームできるのか。あ、この場所と自分のことを覚えとけ。ピョンしたらなんか意味あんの。利用したら省略するのか否定するのかいまいちわからん。よいしょ。うん。うん。ゲットクロスマルティンコード L2 L2 って何や。あ、これか。あれなんかボタン間違った。ああ、はいはいはいはい。そういうことだね。あったんか。ボタン合ってるじゃないか。ああ草でも動けるじゃん。どれが自分なのかよくわからないです。お 数えてみた。なるほど、こういうゲームか。岩です。岩です。やべ、楽しい、これ。思いのほか楽しい。よくわからんのがなおさら楽しい。これ、いつ、it look like you're thinking from a... お、早い早い早い。ああ、なるほど。L2 で小さくなって R2 で大きくなれるよと。そういうことでいいのか。いや、なんか、中央のゲージが溜まると、変身できるようになると。なるほどな。あれがいいな。一定の動きしたらなんだね。なるほどな。草でも動けるじゃねえか。I need to think your name for myself. I triedたねいもさん for なんだこれ、but it didn't give for a 時。なんだ倍何言ってるかよくわからんか。イェーイ。I don't believe in なんたらかんたら。町長は無理ですか。これを繰り返してきゃいいわけだね。なんか進めねえですよ。ニューハーモス。苔です。
I find it a little difficult to say what the subject matter of this seminar is going to be, because it's too fundamental to give it a title. I'm going to talk about what there is. Now, the first thing, though, that we have to do is to get our perspectives with some background about the basic ideas which influence our everyday common sense, our fundamental notions about what life is about. Ideas of the world which are built into the very nature of the language we use and of our ideas of logic and of what makes sense altogether. And these basic ideas I call myth, not using the word myth to mean simply something untrue, but to use the word myth in a more powerful sense. A myth is an image, in terms of which we try to make sense of the world.
オートプレイってどうなるの？あ、オートプレイってこんな感じか。別にプレイしなくてもよくね。うん。ゲームじゃねえな。こういうの割と好きなんだけど。スクリーンセーバーか何かかな。真ん中に地味に草が生えてってんの。そういうことか。オートプレイ頑張って。 喋ることがねえんだ。これあれやろ、本当にスクリーンセーバーだな。ゲームっていうかアプリの音消して垂れ流しするだけでもいいかな、私は。カメラワークなんとかならんもんか。一瞬書くっていうものだけでなんとかなってくれると嬉しいな。これなんか設定的なものあるのか。音楽減らしましょうね。ゲームサウンドだと。サブタイトル。データサプリ。オートプレイ。昨日全部開放してからオートプレイしようか。はい。はい。が動きます。ダンス。どうやって出ちゃう。あ、こういうことか。これで放置していくね。なんかある。
You, as a human being, you grow out of this physical universe in just exactly the same way that an apple grows off an apple tree. So let's say the tree which grows apples is a tree which apples, using apple as a verb. And a world in which human beings arrive is a world that peoples. And so the existence of people is symptomatic of the kind of universe we live in. just as hair on a head is symptomatic of what's going on in the organism. But we have been brought up not to feel that we belong in the world. So our popular speech reflects it. We say, I came into this world. You didn't. You came out of it. We say, face facts. We talk about encounters with reality, as if it was a head-on meeting of completely alien agencies, and the average person has the sensation that he is a somewhat that exists inside a bag of skin, a center of consciousness, which looks out at this thing, and what the hell's it going to do to me? I recognize you. You kind of look like me, and I've seen myself in a mirror, and you look like you might be people. So maybe you're intelligent, maybe you can love too. And perhaps you're all right. Some of you are anyway. You've got the right color of skin, or you have the right religion, or whatever it is, you're okay. But there are all those people over in Asia, Africa, and they may not really be people. When you want to destroy someone, you always define them as unpeople.
あ、終わりました。なんか踊ってたらだいぶ増えたな、なんか。このオートプレってどうすんだ？放置してりゃ入るんだっけ？入った。これはこう夜中に眠る前の非定期っていう感じでプレイするゲームじゃねえですか。ゲームでもねえな。ずっと動物の移動とか気をてらってる部分もあるけど。オートプレイする対象を選べばこんな感じでなかなか面白くなれそうだ。面白いというなんだろう、心穏やかになれそう。ちゃんと吹き出しも勝手に反応するんです。
We have this hostility to the external world because of the superstition, the myth, the absolutely unfounded theory that you yourself exist only inside your skin. Now I want to propose another idea altogether. Billions of years ago you were a big bang. And now you're a complicated human being. But so we define ourselves as being only that. If you think that you are only inside your skin, you define yourself as one very complicated little curlicue, way out on the edge of that explosion, way out in space and way out in time. And then we cut ourselves off and don't feel that we're still the Big Bang. But you are. Depends how you define yourself. You are actually, if this is the way things started, if there was a Big Bang in the beginning, you're not something that is a result of the Big Bang. You're not something that is a sort of puppet on the end of the process. You are still the process. You are the Big Bang, the original force of the universe coming on as whoever you are. See, when I meet you, I see not just what you define yourself as, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so. I see every one of you as the primordial energy of the universe coming on at me in this particular way. I know I'm that too. But we've learned to define ourselves as separate from it.
Eh, やべ、普通に言ってる。これゲームではないけど、見てて楽しいんだ。オートプレイでいいじゃん。こういうのでいいんだよ、こういうので。これ寝る前とかに気持ちを落ち着かせるためにプレイするっていう感じのやつだよな、やっぱり。URL. No such thing as thing.
What I would call a kind of a basic problem we've got to go through first is to understand that there are no such things as things. That is to say, separate things. That is only a way of talking. If you can understand this, you're going to have no further problems. I once asked a group of high school children, what do you mean by a thing? And first of all, they gave me all sorts of synonyms. They said it's an object, which is simply another word for a thing. It doesn't tell you anything about what you mean by a thing. And finally, a very smart girl who was in the group said a thing is a noun. And she was quite right. A noun isn't a part of nature, it's a part of speech. There are no nouns in the physical world. There are no separate things in the physical world either. See, the physical world is wiggly. The clouds, mountains, trees, people are all wiggly. And only when human beings get working at things, they build buildings in straight lines and try and make out that the world isn't really wiggly. But here are we sitting in this room all built on straight lines, but each one of us is as wiggly as all get out.
もう50分経ったの。45分か。多分これ収集要素とかあるんだろうけど、明確な終わり的なものはなさそうだ。倒れた。ええわ。ニュアンスしかわかんないです、英語。多分こんなこと言ってんだろうなっていう感じもしか。なんか新しいことをするみたいだからあれだけちょっと来てこよう。じゃあ、けど放置しますか。さすがになんていうかこれやることもすることもねえし、50分過ぎたらできるか。
Now then,
あ、これ終わったらだな。
when you want to get control of something that wiggles, it's pretty difficult, isn't it? You try and pick up a fish in your hands, and the fish is wiggly and it slips out. What do you do to get hold of the fish? You use a net. And so the net is the basic thing we have for getting hold of the wiggly world. A net is something regular. And I can number the holes in a net. So many holes up, so many holes across. And if I can number these holes, I can count exactly where each wiggle is in terms of a hole in that net. But in order to do that, I've got to break up the wiggle into bits. And I've got to call this a specific bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle, and this the next bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle. And so these bits are things which I mark out in order to talk about the wiggle, in order to measure it, and therefore in order to control it. But in nature, in fact, in the physical world, the wiggle isn't bitted. So the world doesn't come thing. You and I are all as much continuous with the physical universe as a wave is continuous with the ocean. The ocean waves, and the universe peoples. And as the wave, I wave at you and say, you! The world is waving at me with you and saying, hi, I'm here. But the way we feel and sense our existence, being based on a myth that we are made, that we are parts, that we are things, our consciousness has been influenced so that each one of us does not feel that. We feel, we have been hypnotized, literally hypnotized by social convention into feeling and sensing that we exist only inside our skins, that we are not the original bang, but just something out on the end of it. And therefore we are scared stiff. Because my wave is going to disappear. And I'm going to die. And that would be awful.
Yes. 多分俺をこのまま終わりなく続けちゃうそうだから、ここで切っちゃおう。はい。疲れてねえけど、お疲れ様でしたと。